We live yet, chat, or are we dead? Because I don't know about you, but I've been being live for the last 10 minutes, talking to myself and wondering why is the chat not responding. And then I realized I didn't click the go live button. It's really important. You know, there's two buttons. One is to start the stream and another one is to go live. You need to press both. I bet you didn't know that. Goodness gracious. Congratulations on my person of color status. This is actually an old one. I don't know why people are bringing it up now. Probably because Sargon retweeted it. But people in Britain, social justice activists, they're considering Romanians to be people of color. And this is a great opportunity for me to steal status. To show that I'm underprivileged, which actually means that you get to dominate other people. Right, so, gonna talk about the Jews. Do we have Jews in the chat? Do we have Jews? Do I have the Jewish people in the chat? It's interesting because I made a video on my main channel talking about the Jews. And I was talking about the recent political developments with Benjamin Netanyahu and the US President Donald Trump. And I'm looking at the comment section. Believe it or not, I do read it. And immediately it's like, the only thing that this video does is to platform. You are platforming the groypers. And I'm like, holy shit. Look what I did, Anil In. I have platformed. I am the platformer. It's like when you think about platforming, you think about the great horrors and evil on the internet. In other words, you think of me. And so I'm telling you, be afraid. If you piss me off, I will platform the people you dislike. I have this power. Like I cause horror and despair by platforming people. Who wants a platform, chat? Who wants a I will cause despair to my enemies by platforming you, huh? No, but seriously, why is this ideology, which, unironically, I think it's mental retardation. But the idea that you're responsible for other people. Like, when did we decide that this is justice and fairness? To hold people responsible for what others do? What normal society does that? I don't know, like, did pagan societies do it? I think, like, the Huns, right? Like, the Huns would probably do it. Like, if you were the leader of a city and you didn't open and you allowed them to siege you, then they would kill everyone in the city, right? So, like, technically... But, yeah, no, like it's so fucking annoying. Like, the same shit with Kirche that's happening. It's like holding other people responsible for shit they didn't do. It's like... Anyway, I don't even know if the groypers were posting in my main video, because I was very clear on why you have, like, a rising level in anti-Semitism. And no one wants to talk about it, right? But it exists. It's like, if you don't talk about it, doesn't mean it's not fucking there. It's kind of like the Soviet Union and Chernobyl. It's like, you can pretend that it was just a small fire, but reactor 4 is still radiating. So, I generally don't understand this. It's like, why don't you want to talk about the cause of anti-Semitism? Why are you afraid to discuss the issue? Because it exists, right? Like, there's more anti-Semitism now than it used to be 5 years ago. And I made a video and I talked about it. It's like, it's not difficult to explain. First of all, it's the connection, which was done by activists, the connection of Israel to Jews. And if you criticize Israel, then you're anti-Semitic. This is like saying, if you criticize America, you're criticizing secularism. Or if you criticize American policy, you're criticizing democracy, right? It's the same thing. Like, the activists have worked really hard in order to tie Israel to the Jews. And I get it, it's a Jewish state, but, like, if you criticize its policy, right? Like, its policy, then you're anti-Semitic. And so now people internalize that, And whenever Israel does something, like they say, well, the Jews are doing it. And therefore, when Israel does something that the left doesn't like, it rises anti-Semitism. Hello, hyper. Right? Am I not making sense? And then you also have the woke ideology, which is extremely predominant on the left, to the point that many people wouldn't even call you left-leaning if you're not woke. I know that it's an ethno-state, but you know that there are Jews outside of Israel, and you know that there are people that don't vote for Benjamin Netanyahu, and you know that there's also other people that live there that aren't actually Jewish, and that there's people that's also like a religion. It's not just an ethnicity. Anyway, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that if you criticize America policy, right? Like, no one is going to say that you're against democracy. No one is going to attack you if you say you don't like what America is doing in the Middle East. But if you criticize Israel policy, well, now you're anti-Semitic, right? And so, like, people are associating these two. And if you look at what's happening with the left, with woke ideology, like, what does it teach you? It teaches you that you shouldn't be against imperialism. So it teaches you that America is imperialist. It teaches you that capitalism is bad. It teaches you that the cisgender straight white man is evil. And it teaches you that Islam is oppressed and you should always punch up, never punch down. And so when the left is looking at Israel and they're seeing their policies in the Middle East, what are they saying based on their woke lens? Like, this is the lens that they grew up with. This is the stuff that they were trained on television. This is the stuff that they were trained in video games. This is the stuff that they saw in movies everywhere, right? And so it's no wonder that left-leaning people are going to be pro-Palestine. Now you take that, and you also have actual Muslims, right? Like Muslims that went into Europe, who are coming with their personal baggage from the Middle East. They're going to be anti-Israel as well. And so you have, like, on the left, you have, like, the homegrown leftists that are woke, and they're not pro-Israel. And then you have, like, the Muslims, and then you have other people like Hassan Piker. And so, like, on the left, universally, most people don't really align with Israel policy. And so, you know, maybe there are people on the right. Maybe there are people on the right. Well, on the right, you have, like, the Groypers, as people were saying, right? Like, they the far right, the James Lindsay woke right people. They're not big fans of Israel. Then you have the America First, right? Now, the America First, the MAGA people, well, it's in the fucking name. It's America First, right? And if they view stuff like AIPAC, they view America aligning itself with the interests of another nation, they ask the question, well, what's in it for us? And if the answer is nothing, or if they view from the optics that President Trump is being embarrassed or shamed by the Israeli Prime Minister, how do you think they're going to feel? And so, okay, well, the MAGA movement doesn't really like them. The left doesn't like them. It's like, okay, what about the libertarians? Right? Maybe the libertarians like them. Because, like, the right is a coalition as well. There's many people on the right. It's not just two. Like, maybe the libertarians are. Well, the libertarians, what do they get? They get censorship. Everywhere they fucking go, it's censorship. Right? Like, it's impossible to be on the internet and not experience censorship. And if you don't get it, like, a friend of yours or someone else gets it, and it's over trivial shit. It's over jokes. It's over mild criticism. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Steam, right? Steam is being attacked by the ADL because it's got Pepe the Frog in it. And they're considering that to be an anti-Semitic image. And apparently, like, there's a lot of them. And so, what is Steam going to do? How is Steam going to crack down, right? And so, like, the libertarians, they hate censorship. Where is the censorship coming from? Oh, the ADL. What's that associated with? And so, there you fucking go, right? Like, this is why anti-Semitism is rising. This is just something that I'm observing, right? And you gotta ask the question, why is it more now than it used to be 5 years ago? Well, because of everything that I mentioned. Yeah, the awakening in consciousness. People have awakened in consciousness. There's a Romania. Well, there was a Romanian presidential candidate that used the expression "awaken in consciousness," and I'm like, what the fuck is that? How can you awake in consciousness? Like inside the consciousness, you're awakened, and it's like, holy shit. Okay. And now this fits. Yes, like people have awakened in consciousness. Speaking of conflicts, right? Because we talked about the Palestinian conflict. It seems that the India and the Pakistani conflict is dying down. Donald Trump claimed that he intervened, right? He managed to fix the issues. Like, people had strong grievances. People were going hot. But then Donald Trump said, you need to calm down because we need H-1B visa workers. And Britain needs people from Pakistan. And so they're like, okay. Maybe this is the deal they made. You know, like every single person from India goes into the United States. Every single person from Pakistan goes into Britain. Conflict solved. No more Kashmir. No more Kashmir. Everything is great. Interesting conflict. You know what I think about it. So for those of you who don't know, India and Pakistan are fighting over Kashmir. Is that the way you pronounce it? Anyway, it's a region. Every nation wants it. There's religious issues at play. And so there was a terrorist attack. And India said, well, Pakistan done it. So now they decided to attack Pakistan. What do I think about it? The solution is the British Empire. Like, shit was a lot more stable when the Brits were there. But anyway, yeah, no, unironically, that's how you solve the Palestinian conflict. You have the British Empire conquering both Israel and Palestine. And then you have, like, British imperial rule over there. And there you go, conflict solved. But regarding India and Pakistan, what is my solution? I don't want solutions. I'm not there. I don't fucking care. Anyway. No, they can fight conventionally without nukes. You know, like, just because you have nukes doesn't mean you have to use it. India apparently is not allowed to use a nuke unless someone nukes it. And so we're not going to see anything like that. What exactly did happen, right? I think there's like two possible reasons. This is just like purely my opinion, my speculation. Every single time I see some shit like this, I wonder who benefits, right? Like who benefits from the thing? Does Pakistan benefit because a couple of civilians are dead? I don't think so. I generally don't. It looks to me more like either the guy was acting on his own, like a complete nutcase, right? Like he radicalized either himself or follow some like small group. And this gave India the justification to go ham. Or India itself was itching. And like they knew that it would happen and they did nothing. And then it's like, now we have a reason. Because like, I just don't see what exactly is Pakistan benefiting. China benefits? Isn't India in BRICS though? Like, does China benefit from an India that's weakened? I don't know. Maybe. But I do view this as more of a India benefiting, you know, rather than Pakistan. SRC Maker, thank you for the $10. The problem was caused by the Brits. They managed all these separate proto-nations and created India and Pakistan for the easy administration. See the evil of bureaucracy at work? No, I get it, but like if you bring back the British Empire, the problem fixes itself, right? Like the problem exists as long as the British Empire collapses. And so like if you had the British Empire today, no one would have cared. India is frenemies with China, I know. Pakistan wants all of Kashmir, so does India. Problem started and ended with the British Empire. They're like, the problem didn't start. The problem began when the British Empire ended. Like, if the British Empire was there now, the problem would go away. Many of the United States factories are moving to India. See, like, one of the things that I find interesting, why are the United States factories moving to United States? Like, seriously, you have a nation that constantly creates laws and bureaucracy that fucks up with its own manufacturing system. It's like, oh, let's put a minimum wage, let's put worker protection, environmentalist shit, and then we export everything somewhere else where we don't have minimum wage, where we don't have the environmentalist shit. And then you're going to do to India exactly what you're doing to China. You're going to modernize it, and then you're going to see, oh shit, now it's a contender to the throne. Now we have like another nation that's becoming as powerful as we are, and we want to maintain hegemony. Now, seriously, like, why is the thing repeating itself? Like, do they not learn from the past? Isn't it, like, so fucking frustrating? It's like, okay, so, let me get this straight. You have leftists that, like, constantly want to regulate. It's like, oh, this isn't safe. You have the safetyism shit. And then you put laws and laws and laws. And so now your manufacturing system is going somewhere else where those laws don't exist. And it's like, well, it's someone else's backyard, not my problem. Until like their backyard becomes as cool as yours, and they become as developed as you are. And then you're like, oh shit, we need to move the manufacturing somewhere else. To be fair, like, I wouldn't be surprised if 30, 40 years down the line they move them in Africa or something. I guess, like, that's how you can make Africa as strong as Europe, right? Like, move American manufacturing in Zimbabwe. And all of a sudden, Zimbabwe becomes a juggernaut overnight. Don't fucking laugh, it will happen. At the rate things are going, it would happen. Meanwhile, India's cleanest river. Floating corpses and literal burning rubbish. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't change in 20 years. Nations change, though. They don't stagnate. Like, the shit you see now, I get the expression, isn't the shit that's going to be 20 years in the future. Or 40 years. China already moved a lot of manufacturing to Africa. It's not any kind of joke. Yeah, it doesn't fucking surprise me. The Brits let Kashmir decide, and their leaders choose India. I don't know the history there, man, and I honestly don't care. I generally don't care. I can't care about everything in the world. You know, I was just looking and it's like seeing the chimp out from afar. And it's like, wow, that's interesting. You look at the map and you see Pakistan as a tiny nation, and you see this massive juggernaut that's India. And you're like, wow, that's what they went up against? That's interesting. Africa countries still can't grow food. They don't have to. We have transportation now. We know refrigeration. We know shipbuilding and the ability to carry shit over the sea. They don't need to build food. Holy shit, SRC Maker, thank you for the $60. Only high-end goods can be manufactured within the States. At this point, even an iPhone is not high-end enough to make economic sense to manufacturers in the United States. Also, I've said for 20 years, eventually Africa will be the world's manufacturing hub. Well, here's the thing, right? If you keep making legislation that makes it hard for things that aren't high-end to be manufactured in the US, then they will just bypass the legislation and make it somewhere else. Now the thing is, and this is actually true. If you, like, let's say you give the ability for smartphones to be made in China. Okay. Well, over the course of years, like, China gets really good at making smartphones. And not only that, but they copied the technology. They managed to steal the IP and everything like that. And now they can make their own smartphones. They don't need you. Now they can make their own shit, and they can benchmark from that. And so it's not just unwise, but you're like literally giving your technology to other nations, and then you're shocked that they're competing with you. Like, it's so fucking weird, you know? How is Chinese t-shirt with some print made in the US a high-end good? Well, it's because people pay for it. Everything is worth what a purchaser will pay for it. And most people don't know where it's made. Like most people, they don't care. When people buy a shirt, they look at three things, right? Like they look at the brand, they look at where it's made. Well, actually, they don't even look at where it's made. They look at the shirt itself, the design, right? And then they look at the brand. That's it. Now, why do people buy brand clothing? There was like this TikTok video showing that some brand clothes are actually really cheap and they're made in China. Other people call the video fake. I don't really know which one is true. But like, let's assume it's true, right? Like, let's assume that a $30,000 Hermes purse is actually $2,000 made in China. It doesn't fucking matter because like high-end clothes, they're not for the average people. They're for the rich. And the reason they buy it is to show off. Like, you can't have your bank account on your forehead. You can't show to other people that you're rich. And so what you do is you buy stuff that other people know it's expensive. So, like, basically by seeing that they're basically knowing that you have so much cash that you're willing to waste $30,000 on a purse. So, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's made in China or not. Right? Like, as long as people know it's expensive, that's the whole point. That's the whole grift. Zedif, why is India and why is China China and why is India not China? It's because China has Chinese and India has Indians. By all circumstances, India should be closer to China than it is to Pakistan. I generally don't know the demographics of the region. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't. But what I do know is that if I was to visit something, I would visit China. Visit China. I wouldn't visit India. I heard stories. Let's put it like this. I heard stories about India. Coco Channel was operating for an intelligence officer. Did Gura start streaming again on her alt? Huh? It's quite funny how in this conflict people are actually dying in horrible ways. And all the internet does is, sir, do not redeem. The further you are from a conflict, the less likely is that people will care. Right? Like, people who are neighboring India or Pakistan or within those nations, they don't find the conflict funny. But people who are halfway across the world, they don't care. And it's also interesting. Like, this is the fascinating part, right? Look at the power of the mainstream media. Like, everyone says, oh, no one cares about the mainstream media anyway. It's lost its relevancy. But look at what happens with Ukraine, right? Russia invades Ukraine. All of a sudden, Westerners are outraged. They're horrified, right? It's like Russia, the invader, the bully. Now, I'm not saying that's not the case. But what I am saying is that you see people in the United States half the way across. They can't point Ukraine on a map and they have like Ukrainian flags in bio and they're having extremely strong opinions. You know, look at Short Fat Otaku. Holy shit, like the way he's acting, you would swear he lives in Kiev. Okay, so like that's what you get. Now you have the Indian conflict. Both of them are nuclear states. Both of them have like large armies and shit. Both of them have strong alliances that can drag the entire world into conflict. No one cares. Why? Because the mainstream media doesn't say shit. I mean, logically, you know, like if we apply the same mentality, everyone should be on the side of Pakistan. Pakistan is the small nation. It's being aggressed by India, right? But because the mainstream media doesn't say it, like I'm willing to bet if CNN was to make like 10 articles tomorrow, and the New York Times and the Washington Post was to act like with 10 or 15 articles, all of a sudden Twitter would go into a frenzy, the Democrats would start, right? Build up a nation by outsourcing. Once they become too powerful, you move. And nuke, outsource, profit, move, nuke, and repeat. Well, the nuclear part is difficult because they have their own. Dograd, thank you for the $10. A preemptive, very dark joke. You'll remember when it happens. I felt a great disturbance in the phone lines as if a million call center dialed out in terror and were suddenly disconnected. You know, dude, I actually saw that the entire scamming industry is actually a significant chunk of India's revenue. And I was like, get the fuck out. But it's true. And so you realize why they don't crack down on it. Like, it would actually affect their economy. I don't know if it's like I forgot the number. It's not like a massive chunk, but it exists. I think the reason it exists is probably because of the legislation there, or the fact that they're ignoring it. I don't know which. But like, hey, it's a capitalist market. If they don't do it, someone else would. So at least the good thing is that you recognize the type of scams after seeing them so long. You recognize the type, you recognize the accent, the way of writing. Anyway, apparently the do not redeem thing, like that may have been tricked. Like that may not be entirely true. It may be acted, right? Like they used actors. Would be interesting. Can you name one great Indian invention? Elephant riding. You didn't think I could. I bet you didn't think I could, but I did. No, I think Indians actually invented shit. Hold on, let me check it out. Apparently, mathematics, the concept of zero, was invented by Brahm Gupta. The decimal system, the infinity concept, algebra and trigonometry, formal logic, ancient Indian school like Navya developed a rigorous system of reasoning long before Aristotle. Medicine, a lot of ancient stuff though, like a lot of stuff developed before Christ. Inoculation and vaccination, look at this shit, right? Practiced in India for smallpox long before it became widespread in Europe. I don't know if this was done under the British Empire though. Architecture and engineering, iron pillar of Delhi, ancient example of rust-resistant iron metallurgy. Urban planning, city like Mohenjo-Daro and Harpa had advanced sewage. Astronomy, heliocentrism, calendar system, cotton cultivation and weaving. India was the first to cultivate and weave cotton. The word cotton even has roots in Sanskrit. Chess. The original version of chess was invented in India. Snakes and ladders originated as a spiritual game about karma and moshka. Buttons. Buttons made from seashells have been found in India 2,000 years before Christ. Shampoo, get the fuck out. Get the fuck, shampoo? Shampoo, from the Hindi word shampoo, head massage with herbs and oil. USB technology, co-invented by Indian-American engineer Ajay Bhatt. Does it count, chat? Huh? I asked for inventions inside India. If it's not from India, it doesn't count. Fiber optics, Pentium chip. Big contributions by Indian origin scientists. Fiber optics pioneer. They invented shit. Why are you being so mean? Why are you like, well, if you don't know. Huh? Like, if I don't know, it doesn't exist? Source discard the shampoo. No, like, apparently it's the language. Like, it's called shampoo because it's from India. They have a word for it. Yeah, advanced sewer system. Dude, like, there are billions of people. But apparently, like, see, I actually wonder, like, what is the thing where people say that there's a lot of shit in the streets? Like, why is that a thing? Why does it happen? And I did research, right? I did research. Apparently, the reason that they shit in the streets, it's cultural. It's not like they don't have toilets or don't know how to use the toilet. They think it's better to shit in the woods. Like they actually, it's not that they like it. They think it's healthier. I don't know why. Cause like, for instance, in India you have Sikhs, right? Like Sikhs are the ones with the turban. They don't shit outside. It's fascinating. Raiding Terror, thank you for the $5 V. Your title sounds anti-Semitic. See? I told you. It's a dangerous title. Also, this falling out between Trump and the chosen one is fake. Trump loves the chosen country over his actual country. I don't know, like, I haven't seen him measure it. And I haven't seen a take where Israel and America would be like complete opposites. And Trump would go for America. I don't think like he loves it more than his country. What I do think, and I said this in my other video, right? Like in America, you have the concept of money inside politics. Here in Europe, we call it corruption. In America, they call it lobbying. And so you have AIPAC. Now, initially when I heard about AIPAC, I thought that it just gives money to politicians to vote for whatever, Israel needs. Because I already discussed, it's like, okay, Israel, like, they got their own agenda. And America has its own agenda, right? Like every single nation. But every now and then, the agendas don't align perfectly. It's not that they differ too much. They just don't align. They're in non-alignment. And that's where AIPAC comes in to help America see the correct way. They want America to be able to see the correct alignment. And so I thought that, AIPAC comes in and bribes the politicians. No, apparently it's not like that. Apparently the way it is that when you have two politicians running for elections, and it's a close one, what AIPAC does is it supports the candidate that is pro-Israel. So, like, for instance, if you're a politician and you're not pro-Israel, they will support your opponent. They usually do this if they can think they're winning. Like, if it's a small percentage, right? Like, if it's a massive difference, they don't. But, yeah, and you get the AIPAC guy, right? You get an AIPAC guy which basically asks you to do stuff, and if you don't do them, then the next time there's an election, they're kind of like the Iron Bank of Bravos from Game of Thrones, right? Like, if the king stops paying the debt to the Iron Bank of Bravos, then the Iron Bank funds the people fighting against the king. Holy shit, 50 memberships. Oh my god. Thank you, Brimac. I appreciate it. That's a lot. But yeah, so as I was saying, if you have this system, like over the course of time, the reason that most politicians are pro-Israel is because they're afraid not to be, right? Like if you're not, then your opponents get in. And so no matter what happens, you end up with pro-Israel politicians. Okay, so let's talk about Trump or any other US president. A US president, if he wants to legislate, if he wants to run the country, he needs the support of his party. He can't, right? Like America is not a dictatorship. You can't really do stuff if your party doesn't support you. And so if the party has like a lot of pro-Israel people, well, he has to be pro-Israel. Because if he doesn't, then when it comes up to do the things inside this country and he wants to pass legislation, like for instance stuff with Dodge, then he gets opposition. Jesus, Brumach, holy shit, like 50 of them. My fucking god. I really appreciate it. I should get more perks. Maybe more little thumbnails or stuff for people to be able to use. I do have the LGBT flag though. Anyway, right. So the thing with Trump though, unlike other presidents, is that number one, he's old, which means that he's probably not interested in furthering his political career. And number two, he's already at his second term. And despite the jokes, I don't think he's going to get the third. So he's probably in a I don't give a shit situation. But at the same time, he's starting to realize that, okay, I need the Republican Party for a little longer. And so what he does instead of attacking Benjamin Netanyahu, which would label him as anti-Semitic, by framing it as, oh, he's disrespecting me, he's being too demanding, blah, blah, blah. Now it's not viewed that he's being anti-Semitic. It's being viewed like Benjamin is a problem, right? So it's kind of like telling Israel, it's like, hey, if you elect someone else, I don't care who, you basically have someone else that I can play ball with. I think that's what it is. When's the next elections in Israel, though? Like, and how old is Benjamin? Like he's been in power for quite a while. Has he been in power longer than Merkel? I need to check, though. Hold on, I need to give Bimak a wrench. I mean, that's a serious contribution. Yeah, I do have an LGBT flag. That's pretty much all I got. Anyway, Trump said he doesn't want a third term, but Trump said he does. Which Trump do I believe? Do I believe is Trump like the Quran? Because apparently the way the Quran works is that if you find a contradiction, you go to what was said last time, and apparently like that is the one that you're supposed to follow. So like if Muhammad says A and then Muhammad says B, you go with B because he said B after A, right? So is Trump like that? Apparently, it's hard to tell when he's joking or not. Like, usually when he says something that's, like, batshit insane, and you're thinking, well, he's joking, obviously. And then it's like, no, he's serious. Like with Greenland, for instance. You're like, oh, come on. It's obviously a joke. No, apparently he's serious. Okay, shit. Canada. Well, obviously he's joking about Canada, right? Like, it's America's day. No, he's serious. Okay. Third term. Well, again, at this point, it's like he wasn't joking about the first two. Well, maybe he's not joking about this one either. And now chat is telling me, no, he changed his mind. It's like, come on. Fuck is he doing? Why is he like this? Yeah, the thing with Canada is still baffles my mind. It's not like the reason is like, okay, he doesn't like the fact that Canada doesn't trade with the United States at an equitable level. Okay, fine. You know, like maybe there's truth to that. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I don't know what Canada is doing. But what I do know is that when you start doing the whole 51st state shit and you're insulting their national pride and prestige in front of the world, it makes it very difficult for other nations to ally with America. Because, like right now there's elections in Romania. One of the guys is pro-EU, the other one is pro-United States. And so, like, Romania as a small nation has to pick. And the thing is, like, I don't know for sure. I generally don't. Like, I'm leaning towards America, but it's like, it's an America that today trades with you, and tomorrow it says, like, hey, you're not doing right by us. You're not treating us fairly. And so I need to ask, is Romania treating America fairly? I don't fucking know. I hope we are. But I don't know. I'm not a politician. I'm not making the deals, right? Because I thought Canada is treating America fairly, and boy, was I wrong. I thought the European Union is treating America fairly. Apparently not. And again, like, I'm not saying it's not true. It's just like I didn't know. And so, is Romania treating America fairly? I don't fucking know. But I don't want to find out. You know? Having America that will defend you in future conflicts. Well, I'm looking at Ukraine, right? And like, Ukraine had a deal with America, and that was, we give away our nukes, and you guys protect us. And now America is like, yeah, we had the deal, but what else you got? We want the rare earth minerals. We want to take your minerals. We want to harvest your Vespin gas and your minerals. And so the signal that's being sent to the international community is a precarious one. It's like, well, do we trust them? I mean, they seem nice. They seem honorable people. But lately, it's kind of difficult, right? Lately, it's a little bit interesting. Do we trust them or not? Do we trust them or do we trust the European Union? Interesting title. What did you miss? You miss Israel. The only flag that matters is the piracy flag. America have historically always been like this, to be honest. It's just more explicit with Trump. I don't know. I think like America did a good job with the Korean War. You guys tried with Vietnam. It's not like you guys abandon your allies and shit. Usually, if America invests in a place, they at least try to defend their investments. That's how I view it. Do not buy anything from the United States either. Do not support their services like Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon. It's not about buying stuff from them, right? It's not like I'm against America as a concept. No, the question is like, is the president that I'm voting for, right? Like if I have a choice between a pro-EU president and a pro-United States president, the United States allegedly gives us military defense. The European Union makes sure that they don't fuck with us, right? Because we don't want tariffs. We don't want refugees during an economic crisis. And the European Union can fine you, can make your life miserable, right? And so the president that we're choosing now is between a US president and a European Union president. What does it mean? Does it mean we discard one for another? No. What it does mean is that if the United States and the European Union is disagreeing on key issues, who does Romania support? Like, do we support the US or do you support the EU when they're in disagreement? And the answer is like, I don't fucking know. I don't know which one is. I generally don't. This time, I generally don't. Because like, okay, you're helping the Americans. Good. They don't withdraw their military. They allow the continuation of the base, right? And so, what if they don't? What if you support them? What if you back them? And then when Russia becomes aggressive, they still withdraw their military. Or they still get upset at the European Union and they tariff Romania as well. So that's my question for my country, right? Like, is America a good neighbor? Are they good allies? Do they follow their word? Do they maintain their promises? Your neighbors are your friends? What, the European Union? I don't think first of all, I don't think the United States or the European Union are generally friends. They are nations with various interests, with competing interests. The European Union doesn't want Romania to have a strong industry that rivals Germany. They are brain draining our nation. And they can put fines on us. And they like to export censorship. Right? Meanwhile, the United States, they have military interests with us. They want us to have NATO bases. They want us to spend money on defense. And they promise that they will defend us if the Russians come. I don't give a shit about America's external policy, okay? I don't give the shit that they do in the Middle East. That's not a Romanian thing. I'm not in the Middle East. I'm in Romania, right? Like, this is how we think in Europe. It's like, you need to like your neighbors. Motherfucker, it's Europe. No one likes their neighbors. What are you on? Are you smoking? Like, which neighbors should I like? Which neighbors do you think like are good for us? Historically speaking, we're a nation trapped between empires. If you want to learn not to like your neighbors, come to Europe. You know, like, hold on. I'll show you something about neighbors in Europe. Give me a second so I can show you exactly how Europeans feel about their neighbors. All right? Like, look here. And I'm not kidding. Like, this is Europe. Why do we not have sound?
Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you! Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you!
Right? No, like, seriously, this is the European spirit. You need to like your neighbors. Oh, you need to like your neighbor. Dude, it's 2025, alright? Like, we got supersonic jets that managed to go from the United States to my country in 3 fucking hours. It's not like, oh, you need to like your neighbors. Oh, yeah. You know who I need to like? The people I choose to like. How about that? Not the hand that I'm being dealt. It's not like this is your hand. This is the destiny has thrown you. You need to like it. No, fuck that shit. SRC Maker, holy shit, $120 today. Here's the thing, 700, 800 US military facilities in 80 countries. So why aren't you guys basically vassals anyway? At least if you have a state, you get senators and representatives. I said it before, is the petrodollar is the US military dollar. Okay, it's a lot more difficult than that. Small states have absolutely no problem with being a vassal, right? So like if it's a small country like Romania, historically speaking, yeah, like you want to be a vassal because you get protection. And it's true for most small nations. But for large nations like Canada, you need to understand that a nation is not necessarily a corporation. It's not just a plot of land where transactions happen. A nation has a history. It has a heritage. It has a national identity. It's kind of like a person, right? And so you can't go with the spreadsheet over there and be like, this is how much we're getting, this is how much we're losing. There are nations that will be like, you know what? Maybe lines should go down for a little bit. And we're going to look at other options. We're going to start working with the Chinese. We're going to start working with the European Union just to fucking spite you. And the worst that can happen is you get another Mexico, right? So you have a Mexico on your southern border, and that's a problem. And then you have another Mexico on your northern border, and that will become a problem. But, you know, I'm not saying that the way Trump is dealing with Canada is right or wrong, because, like, at the end of the day, I don't vote for Trump, so I can't really influence foreign policy. You know, maybe he does have a point. Maybe, like, Canada will become the 51st state. I personally don't know what that would bring to America, because now you have, like, another perpetual blue state. If Canada becomes a blue state, they will vote perpetually Democrats, especially if they hate the Union. Like, the only way that Canada becomes a 51st state, in my opinion, is if you create there a massive economic problem. Like, you're making life really, really difficult for them. And so the only way out is to unite with the United States, not out of love or shared values or ideals or identity, but it's simply because if we don't do it, we're fucked, right? So you're basically forcing their hand. If you do that, then they will view the party that forced them, which is the Republicans, to be the evil party. And they will constantly vote Democrat, and they're already left-leaning. So now you'll have like another state, or potentially three, depending like if you carve up the country or not, that are voting non-stop blue. So you have another California, you have a Texas that's going to go purple, and then you're going to have the Democrats perpetually winning elections. I don't know why you want this, but it is what it is. To be fair, though, realistically speaking, if you manage to unite with Canada and you create this super state that's the size of a continent, then you become de facto the world hegemon. Like, no other nation can fuck with you ever. The only thing that would destroy you is a civil war. But that would take probably like 40 or 50 years to do it. Just because you get a super state doesn't mean that the average person benefits. Because usually what happens with large empires, they use a lot of censorship and cracking down. And it's like, yeah, you got free speech in the Constitution. But they can still censor online. They can still make sure that certain rights like debanking and shit can happen. So like, I don't know if the interest of the average American is for Canada to become the 51st state more than a LARP thing. It's like, oh, we got it. It's like, sure, you know, you can, but like your lifestyle is going to go down because they're going to have to integrate it, and it's going to be economically costly, and a lot of money is going to have to be spent for that part. I usually prefer stability rather than progress, but again, not my country, not my problem. The only thing that I'm saying is the way that all of a sudden you went from 0 to 11. Like, no other American president says shit about Canada ever, and all of a sudden you're not going it to a 5 or a 6, you're dialing it to 11. And it's very concerning for other nations when they see that type of behavior. The EU hates you. The EU is a bureaucratic system. It doesn't know hate. It doesn't know love either. It just knows like what it needs to accomplish and how to do the grift and how to maintain the European Union on the path. That's it. They don't know hate. Gabriel Narta, you just killed his goat. Why would he like you? Pretty much, yeah, exactly. If you kill the neighbor's goat, and then you say, hey, if I marry your daughter, everything is fine. I don't know if they're going to like you, man. I'm thinking too much again. I'm sorry. I'll try not to. Rotten Canadian politics got Trudeau again. I don't understand Canada, man. Like, the whole thing is so fucking weird. The only reason they re-elected this guy is because they viewed him as the guy that can stay against Trump. And to be fair, like, there's some truth to it. When you look at even the United States, right? Like, the reason George Bush got re-elected was because of 9/11. Like, in times of great calamities, when people are afraid, they rather prefer the same leadership than to change it. I don't know why that is, right? Because, like, sometimes you can have a politician that's good in times of peace, but he would be bad in times of war, and vice versa. But for some reason, whenever there's, like, a catastrophe or a calamity, people like to vote for the same guy. The Americans voted for Bush, and Canada voted for Trudeau's party. Why? I don't fucking know. But it is what it is. Quebec should be a different planet? Do you think Quebec would want to ally with the United States? Have I read Eminescu's book? Probably in school. And if I did, I forgot about it. Purely hypothetical question. If Russia takes Odessa and then decides to invade Moldova, since it's not in EU or NATO, would Romania defend Moldova? Absolutely not. First of all, like, what the fuck do you defend? Like, the war would probably be over in 4 or 5 hours. Like, that's not a country. That's... I mean, if Russia wants to invade Moldova... What is the population of Moldova? Hold on, let me check. Like, we're not talking about a war here. We're talking about a slaughter. Okay, 3.60 billion people. Like what exactly do we defend? Now let's assume that they would actually manage to somehow, by some fucking miracle, resist more than 24 hours. We would send weapons, yeah, but we're not going to send manpower. And the opposite is also true. Like, if we're getting invaded by the Russians, Moldova isn't going to send shit. Nor would we ask them to. Like we're not talking about, like, a large nation here, you know? It's 3.60 million people. There are cities in the United States with more people than that. The question itself doesn't make sense. As for Moldavia, right now we have the opportunity of uniting with them, like the politicians aren't interested. For instance, during the whole Ukrainian conflict, Moldavia could have very well just unite with Romania, and then it becomes a EU and a NATO member overnight. They didn't want to do it. Our politicians didn't want to do it. Their politicians didn't want to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, they're neighbors. If Russia were to hypothetically invade, we would send weapons, yeah. I mean, we're sending weapons to Ukraine now, right? We're not sending people. But we would send weapons. Maybe we would even send, like, some officers to train their troops. But again, it's 3.60 million people, dude. The war would be over in less than 24 hours. Like, there would be nothing to defend. Fair enough. I just wanted to ask, since Russia wants to take over Odessa really bad, because it wants to take Transnistria for themselves. Isn't Transnistria already theirs though? Like, isn't the Russian army there? I mean, technically, it's not the Russian army; it's a splinter group. But like, Transnistria, have you been there? There's barely any people left, man. Like, Transnistria is filled with villages that are deserted, and it has like some old people in them. I don't even know what's to take. Ukraine, I'm surprised they didn't take Transnistria. Like, that would have been an interesting move. With the permission from Moldavia, because like Transnistria doesn't even pay taxes anymore. And so it's an interesting situation. But no, I don't think like Russia wants Transnistria when they already have it. They have it as a puppet state, if you will, right? Regarding Odessa, I don't think they can take it. Like, it's one of the most heavily defended cities in Ukraine. It's very difficult to take. So, yeah, there's a lot of speculations. Doesn't Transnistria technically belong to Moldova? Yeah, like, technically it does. But there's a difference between legal and de facto. Like, legally, it belongs to Moldavia. De facto, it doesn't pay taxes to Moldavia because it's occupied by an enclave that's a splinter group from a Russian army. So, they even had a little civil war because of it. But there was, like, this splinter group of the Russian army that just occupied Transnistria and didn't want to leave. And they've been there ever since. And so, yeah, I mean, illegally, it's Moldavian land, but de facto they can't govern it, and de facto they can't get taxes from it. And so I don't see why the Russians would take it when it's kind of theirs anyway. And it's not a rich nation, it's not something that, you know, it's just like villages that are filled with old people. They have like a small population there and their own economy and stuff, but like, I don't think they would be interested in having it. The only reason Ukraine wanted it is because they have to guard it, right? Because like Russia can send troops and saboteurs through there, and they may have been worried, but yeah. Anyway, I don't think that Russia is going to take Odessa, by the way. At least not this year. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you again for the 50 members. And thank you, SRC, for more than $100. Holy shit. And I'll see you all guys tomorrow. Take care.